In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
All right, welcome back to another Pointless Automotive Podcast, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Howdy. Chadwick and Frank at it again. Still here. Awesome, bud. Yeah, so we got some fun stuff. We've done this kind of segment before.
Have we?
We have.
Mm-hmm. Are we rehashing?
Same dance, different song, baby.
Okay. It's okay. Careless feet have got no rhythm.
I don't have any rhythm.
No, neither do I. I'm not one to cut a rug. But we could cut right to the chase.
I was gonna say the cheese.
No, don't do that.
Already beat you to the point.
Don't do that. What are we doing? What are we rehashing?
So let's do, this was a lot of fun last time we did it, guys. Yeah. The Automotive Would You Rather, where we give each other usually two horrible, panic-inducing scenarios where we have to choose between. And then support our answer horribly is how we usually pull this off.
We tend to have completely indefensible takes on those things. But when we're playing a rousing game of Automotive Would You Rather, we get even further out over our skis and make some poor decisions. And I for one welcome these poor decisions. Although I don't know if mine are particularly crazy or salty. I think I've trended a little bit more even keel with most of my scenarios I'm going to throw your way. I don't know. You might be going completely wild and off the script. I don't know. You don't share these ahead of time with one another.
Yeah, that's my de facto operation mode, right? Like, is to go a little crazy. But I've got some positive ones in there to keep it light.
Yay.
Should I kick us off with something positive?
I think you just, shoot from the hip, my friend.
Let's wade into this water. Okay, guys. So you decide if you're Team Chadwick or Team Frank, kind of like Twilight at the end of this.
Definitely, yeah. I think technically you're slightly paler than I am, so that means you're of the vampire world, and I'm
Edward?
Yeah, but not Scissorhands, although he was also quite pale.
Yeah, and not the real Batman, Christian Bale.
Not the real Batman, Christian Bale, nor Edward Penis Hands, if you've ever seen that in the depths and the bowels of the internet. But no, and then who's the other one? So there's Edwards and not Snowden either, but he's still in Siberia, I think, so probably quite pale at this time.
I wonder
what's the other one? Because it's Team Edward and Jacob, right? Was it Jacob?
So I never watched the movie, so
I've seen maybe 3/4 of whatever weird one where she gives birth to like a vampire baby. Is that the last one? I don't know.
Ooh, that sounds great.
No, it was not.
Depends on the camera angle.
I think all of those are terrible. No offense to what's her face? That place? I don't know. We're going off.
Blandy Bland? I don't know.
No. But okay, so I'm Team Jacob. You're Team Edward.
Look, there's only 2 vampire movies you should get excited about. Well, 3 maybe. So Interview,
Blade.
That's the other one. 30 Days a Night.
Don't know that one. I'm not about my
Josh Hartnett's in it.
Sure.
Okay, so here's
I know he's your heartthrob.
He was early 2000s, baby.
Yeah. You've moved on.
It's based on a graphic novel, so it's already a good intro.
Sure.
It takes place in Alaska, northern Alaska, where it's nighttime for 30 days. So perfect scenario for vampires. You should watch it, man.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
Good to know. Vampires Paradise up here in northern Alaska.
Yeah, and then you have a vampire weekend after.
That's true. Although I think they're from like upstate New York. I don't think they're from from upstate Alaska. So yes,
give and take. All right, let's get back.
Fire away. I told you this one's going to be a little off the rails.
Get a little silly.
Yep.
Okay, this category is Dream Automotive Job.
Oh,
so it's I kind of put
not
it in
service advisor.
You know. Would you rather, my friend, be Jay Leno's personal car caretaker test driver to include canyon runs to keep his sports cars in top running condition?
You have to. This is a thing.
Or, that sounds pretty cool.
Okay.
Would you rather have a gig as an amateur lap time setter in various race cars at locations all over the globe?
Interesting.
These are both positive
things. Well, there's 2 main things to consider here, in my opinion. And it's really going to depend on the individual. And I honestly don't know which side of the camp I am on this. One clearly is travel heavy, right?
Right.
Because you're going around the globe and you are, one day you're at the streets of Monaco, and the next you're here locally at Laguna Seca in your whatever interesting or not so interesting car flavor of the week. Doesn't matter, you get to choose.
Sure.
So for some people that's a boon, right? Like, I get to travel the world, this is great. Other people it's a burden, right? Like, I'm on the road again, And so I don't know, I think I would really like that for like the first 3 months, 4 months, maybe 6 months. But I think after that I'd be like, I need some time at home.
Sure.
Like I grow a little road weary. And so based upon that, I think I would have to become really good friends with Jay Leno.
Yes.
Which, who knows? Maybe there's a side to that that's also like not great. Maybe Jay actually sucks to hang out with and work with. Maybe I get tired of tripping over the same 500 interesting crazy cars that he has.
You get curb rash on his F40 wheels.
Yeah, and then he tries to stab me with a box cutter. Like, I don't know.
He sprays you with some of his named after interior cleaner.
Right,
Jay
exactly. Or
Leno's
I squirt my face off with his 1902 Stanley steamer that I have to try and like take on a hot lap. So, I think I would have to. I think I would have to do the Jay Leno thing, but it's a very hard one to decide because, I would not do it for the sake of like, man, hanging out with Jay Leno. Like, I'm not Mr. Starfucker, for lack of a better way to put it. Like, that part doesn't interest me. It would be, I think, the quote unquote long-term play of the work-life balance.
Yeah, okay.
I think is where I was at. As much as I would like, if I can go like 3 months on the road, 9 months at home.
Well, I left it open.
Then I would do. I think that's disingenuous to the question.
Yeah.
I think the question would be: would you rather perpetually travel the world, constantly driving the best roads with the best cars? Kind of sounds like a dream job, but I think if one of them would get old quicker, I think that one would get old quicker. Which is kind of obscene to try and think about that getting old.
Well,
but realistically,
these are both pretty fantastic opportunities.
I think I would. I'd have to become. I'd have to learn how to work on steam-powered cotton gins or whatever he's got in his arsenal there.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that?
It's tough, man. I agree. I like that it's not necessarily working on his cars, it's test driving his cars and doing the Italian tune-up every once in a while. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good opportunity, but there's just something about going on some of these tracks that we will never have a chance to drive on.
Sure.
Like, we'll be in a race car going around the Nürburgring, or we'll be doing...
or anything. Like, life flight your own personal car. Like, I'm curious what this FJ behind us would do.
And I put this too. I wrote as an amateur.
Easy, Jay. Sorry,
yeah.
Carry on.
we put this as an amateur lap time setter, so it's not.
Yeah.
You're not having to do blister laps. They're just making sure you can put a normal person lap down and see what they're benchmarking.
I'm very capable of driving like an average idiot. I am not capable. I am not capable of trying to like be on the bleeding edge of like setting the best time in XYZ. I'm not that guy. So, boy, I don't know.
I think I take the race car.
You road dogging it?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's
just the experience factor. Like, even if I do that job for a year, it's going to be like the best year of my life, right? Like to say, oh, you want to know what I did for a year?
yeah. You're on the like automotive Rumspringa.
Yeah,
you just, like,
exactly.
Go out and get right.
They're both amazing. So that was our soft. I want to start off nice and easy. It's a win-win.
I'm going to start off somewhat easy too, and I think I know what your answer is, based purely around everything we see around us here in your garage. Assuming you already have a perfectly acceptable and good daily driver.
Okay.
That's the baseline assumption. Would you rather have 10 $5,000 cars or one $50,000 car?
I know what you already picked for me.
I didn't pick anything for you. You picked. You dug your own grave, my friend. And I think for those who kind of have seen your various collection and love of the quote-unquote shit heap.
Turd factory.
Yeah, exactly. Turd bucket mobiles. I think me and the peanut gallery and those playing along at home would probably peg you as the $10,000, $5,000.
Absolutely. And emphasis on peg.
True.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
No, there's a lot of good options out there. In the $5,000 bracket,
Yeah, $5,000. It doesn't go as far as it used to.
not even close. And it's
Then again, neither is 50, right?
no, that's like just over the average price of a new car, and it's not even anything special. So at $5,000,
You can get something good for 50 still.
absolutely. You can't even get an NSX anymore for 50. So I mean,
You can get probably a
Automatic.
280,000 mile automatic.
exactly. Well, you
Target.
can't get an NSX.
Yeah.
But no, for
Pro
$5,000, the stuff I traffic in, that's a really nice example of what I'm trafficking in. So
Yeah. Times 10.
Times 10. Ooh, yeah.
Things to
easily.
consider though.
Uh-oh.
Maintaining and sweating over and housing 10. I know this is literally your experience, but I know at least me personally, and I have to. I find myself staring at my collection of buckets, which is not 10. It's less than 10, but looking at it and just being like, I never drive that thing. That thing sits. And I start to sweat a little bit. Like I have those moments
I
where
do too,
it truly becomes a burden.
Sure.
Now I put this burden on myself, so I'm not sitting here like, oh, my life is so hard. I have all these. No, that's not where I'm coming, because I choose to do this. However, there are moments where I go, what the hell am I doing? I've got all this irons sitting here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm street parking stuff. I have to worry about like pissing off the neighbors or.
Sure.
Oh no, this one, it's got this leak and I've got to blah, 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 or someone's going to break into it while I'm out of town for a week because it sits there and never moves anyways, and so it looks like it's an easy target, or whatever. Like there are stress points.
You always ground us in reality, Frank.
Not really.
Well, with the constraints. I mean, yeah, this one, your question's big. Like, if you don't have the ability to house 10 cars, which most people don't.
Oh, I don't. I live my way through it. I got stuff sprinkled around. But that's another
really
stress point. And so I think if I sat there and I can snap my fingers, do the snare.
Yeah.
You can do it all by yourself. Who was that?
Let me see you do
Is that? I think was that Little John?
It could
And
be.
or the Yin Yang Twins. But if I could snap my fingers and go, okay, keep my daily driver, get all my buckets
Sure.
turned into $50,000 in cash, or a $50,000 real world price vehicle, that's excellent. I don't know.
Well, it depends what you're going to do. If you're going to flip those $5,000 cars, you could be making a serious profit there.
I could,
If you bought well.
yeah. I always try to buy well, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. I live in the $5,000 bucket world, and I always have. I've never had a vehicle worth even remotely close to $50,000.
I've had very few.
Yeah. So, I tend to probably be in that camp, but I don't know that I want to keep living in that camp. I think I'm going to get to a point, maybe when I'm a couple of years your junior. Maybe I'm going to hit 40 here in a couple of years, and then be an old man that yells at cloud and just like decides he wants to get rid of everything, and maybe just have one $5,000 car. I doubt it. But they keep looking at sometimes.
Yeah,
It
I
does.
get there. I get a little overwhelmed at the time, and then I just knock out projects and
Yeah, then you hop on Facebook Marketplace and you buy something else.
buy something. Yeah, it's bad. It's a disease.
Like that Plymouth scamp.
Oh, I'm not going to look at it anymore.
Nope, you shouldn't. What else you got?
That's a good one, man. This scenario is going to be called Annoying Factor 10.
Oh, okay.
You ready for this?
Good, because I have an annoying factor, probably a 4.
Oh, this is a bad one. Okay, would you rather drive a minivan full of 5 screaming toddlers and stop and go traffic for 2 hours with no radio?
Okay.
Or would you rather drive a minivan full of raw human waste in the same scenario with no windows down or AC? It's also 95 degrees out.
Give me the toddlers. I can deal with that. The cacophony of
I mean non-stop screaming, not
Yeah.
just a little like
and like fighting. Like
yeah, like just freaking going on full hysterics. Dude, you do know 2 hours, Frank. 2 hours without
95 degrees out. No AC, windows up alone kind of sucks. Let alone with
human waste.
quote unquote human waste.
Raw human waste.
I'm not ODB. I don't. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. I would not do that. I would have to go toddler mode. At least I have AC.
Sure.
Instead of being, I only really truly getting assaulted in the ear hole, not the nose hole and the various sweat gland holes.
Yes.
Sweat gland holes. No, I would do. I would do. Cobbler.
That should be an alternative band name.
Yeah, like a weird Courtney Love hole tribute band or something.
Jesus.
And
thanks for coming out with the sweat gland holes.
Excuse me. I don't like these guys. I haven't even heard them.
Our sophomore album is
I Am Doll Parts.
So Screaming Baby Band.
Are you going Screaming Baby Band?
I'm going.
You're going shit.
Raw Human Waste. Dude, I can't. I got a radio. I can breathe through my mouth.
That's fine.
I can sweat for 2 hours.
Sucking in like turd particles right in your mouth hole.
That's what college was for.
That's true. That's true. 100% chance of pink eye. 100% chance of pink eye.
That's fine. That's
not fine.
That's 2 days ago. Dude, you would lose it. You would swerve your minivan when you do get an opening. No, you go with the shoulder, you get up to 60 and just T-bone safety barrier.
Or hit the rumble strip.
Or roll it over so the kids are quiet for a little while.
Or forever.
Taking
no, I'm going. I'm taking.
I just couldn't deal with that many kids screaming for 2 hours straight.
I feel like
and you can't do anything to see.
I feel like after like 27 minutes, like you kind of settle into like a
I don't think so.
groove.
I don't think you go to Stockholm Syndrome that quick. I think you would still be.
I don't know.
It's tough.
I'm going the screaming meanies.
I go with poop van.
Mildly, I'm going. Here's the thing. I've got an interesting segue because literally the next one on my list is what would you give up forever?
Ooh.
Cold AC. You never have cold AC in a car ever again. Period.
Most of my cars.
You can roll the windows down, but no AC.
Okay. Ever.
Or you have cold AC, but you have windows that never roll down ever again.
No.
So you can never roll your windows up or down. They're just fixed in place. If you crash into like a river or something and you need to extricate yourself, I suppose you can break the glass.
Or go down with the ship.
I will let you make that choice. Probably depends on how you ended up.
Play the violin.
Exactly. Yeah, moving some deck chairs. So yeah, cold AC, but windows never worked ever. Or windows work just fine, but you never have cold AC ever again.
I'm gonna go windows, man. I prefer the use
you want the window?
Yeah.
I'm going old school.
I could do without AC because I don't. Depends where you live. This is a total scenario based on where you live.
True.
I gotta have windows down, man.
Do you ever have the In-N-Out urge?
What do you mean?
I mean, In-N-Out burger.
Clarify.
You know, can use it in a sentence.
Jesus, no, I thought there was some Clockwork Orange shit right now.
Exactly.
Instead of the in-out.
Your little droogies. But no, you would do the In-N-Out burger. And that's the thing. So if you know In-N-Out burger, I always thought it'd be interesting. It was like the big sign, In-N-Out burger. If you just like at night, it's all lit up. If you just like break off the B and then the R, it would just say In-N-Out urge. So, hence the In-N-Out urge request.
Sounds like a club name.
It is, exactly, yeah. Fly by night. But you wouldn't be able to use your drive-through if your windows aren't.
That's what I'm saying.
Another thing. So you would gain drive-through ability.
Right, and I do Dukes of Hazzard entrances every once in a while too.
Your sunroof is still allowed to work though.
Yeah, not the same.
Convertible top still works, but the glass has to be up. You get to be that guy. The guy that drives with the convertible top down with all the side windows up.
Oh, that's horrible.
Be that guy.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so it's a rough place to be.
Yeah, dude, no, I'm going functional windows. What are you going with?
I think I gotta do AC.
Really?
And I hate that. I feel like I'm coming off as like being contrarian because we're kind of every one of these we're on different sides of the boat. But I think I'm doing AC. There's just something about getting into a car. It's hot out and you crank the AC.
Yeah.
Or you get into a car. Someone picks you up and they've been cranking the AC for 30 minutes, and you get into the car and it's just like. It's like grabbing an ice cold glass of water on a hot day.
But like we talked about, this is totally based on where you live, right? So
we're in California, we're stuck in bumper to bumper traffic, and you got and it's like 102 degrees out, and you got the windows down, and you're just sitting there sweating. There's not a breeze at all.
Yeah, but you
have to have the windows down, and you just hear squeaky brakes, and you hear whatever. It's fire season. There's smoke.
Well, the windows can go up and down in the window one, right?
Yeah, the windows work. Yeah, you can roll them up, but then you don't have AC. If it's 100-something degrees out, you're on
Yeah,
stuck
but
in bumper to bumper traffic, you can't keep those windows up for more than 5 minutes.
Your road rage game just went down the tube because you're gonna have your windows up, AC blasting, and like shaking your fist, and people are gonna be like, "What's he saying?"
I'm not a road rage guy.
I'm just saying.
I prefer like the
Well, no
the
one's
cheesy smile and the wave when someone's raging.
We don't
at you.
entertain road rage guys around
No.
here. But I'm just saying, your ability to interact, or someone's going to hand you, like you're driving down the road and stop and go traffic, and there's like that bikini car wash, but they're handing out lemonade, and they go to give you yours, and you're like,
lemonade. Yeah.
he's making hand gestures.
Yeah, but you know what you're not doing? Sweating. You get to be cool and calm and collected and suave.
Dude,
when you're sitting in your seat with your AC, and they're like, "Oh, we've got a nice glass of lemonade." You're like, "I don't need
But
it."
I grew
You
up
can
in-
be like,
I
you can
grew
be
up-
all.
But I grew up in the Northeast where we had windows down a little bit, some of the year.
We have windows down here, a lot of it.
Yeah, well, not now when it's 100 degrees, but
Exactly. That's why you need that AC, dog. I don't know.
It's
I'm going
what
AC.
you're-
And back to the screaming toddler thing. You've got a kid. You go, "It's hot. I'm hot. Roll the windows up. It's too windy." You at least
Tough
you
shit.
just got AC. Live with your kid.
today you become a man.
Open this beer. Yeah.
That's a good one.
So that's wait, you got another one for me?
We're gonna keep the theme of this one actually titled "The Big Sacrifice." So
Oh,
this
boy.
is probably escalating what you just said. This is gonna be a huge sacrifice. You ready for this? You have to choose
Is it like,
one.
will I become a eunuch, or I don't know what the alternative.
Well, if you don't play your cards right, maybe.
Oh boy.
So the big sacrifice.
Disaster, freak injury.
You guys ready? This one's painful. This one's absolutely painful.
That's okay. So it is becoming a eunuch.
Would you rather drive automatic transmission cars
Okay.
only
Okay.
for the rest of your life,
Okay.
or would you rather drive only front-wheel drive cars for the rest of your life?
Okay.
You have to choose one. There's no exceptions, no daily option. Everything has
Fair.
to fall into these categories. Choose your poison.
Boy. Yeah.
Think about it.
I think. So here, when you first said automatic only, my first thought was, oh, that's easy. I'll just take automatic only. Because there's a lot of incredibly good stuff, especially now.
Yeah.
That's quote unquote automatic only. You got like DSG stuff. It's really snappy automated manual stuff.
But we deal in 30-year-old cars, my friend.
Agreed. I think that's still going to be my answer because there are some things that I actually prefer as an automatic.
Sure.
Like your 100 series Land Cruiser behind us.
Only option.
While it would be cool to have one with a manual, I think real world I would rather have the automatic.
Yeah, for off-roading.
And I think there's for a lot of like most like
Truck stuff.
truck stuff, truckuary.
Truck.
They I would prefer an automatic.
Okay.
In most scenarios, little two-wheel drive, like mini truck, I want a manual, right? Like your two-wheel drive 81, Datsun 720 truck. Like, okay, I want that as a manual.
Sure.
A little
B2200.
carbureted, yeah, like little stuff like that. Two-wheel drive. Otherwise, in trucks, I want an automatic. GT cars, I like manual GT car stuff, right? But they're not terrible with an automatic necessarily.
Watch this though. How many cars would you be sacking right now that have manuals that you'd be upset about? Your Galant, the Galant
Galant's
VR4.
gone. 924 Turbo's gone.
Porsche's gone.
I don't know that I would own.
Your hybrid Civic wouldn't be nearly as fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would own it if that car wasn't automatic. I own that car because
The
it's a
cars
manual.
we deal in, friend.
No, I get it. However, the other side of that coin is living with front-wheel drive only,
That's why it's the big sacrifice, man.
right?
It's a tough one.
And front-wheel drive only, yes, there are great front-wheel drive cars.
Oh boy.
Realistically, the front-wheel drive standard bearer is what? Integra Type R.
Yeah. Some really good Civics.
GTIs around the world. Kind of it. I mean, there are other things. You've got like Focus ST, Fiesta ST.
Yep.
Those are great cars.
A Accord out in the driveway.
Yeah,
V6
sure.
manual.
Get a V6 manual Accord or Acura TL or CO. There's some
TSX.
interesting stuff. However, you lose entire manufacturers. All of Porsche, effectively all of BMW, effectively all of Mercedes-Benz, kind of all of Audi. I mean, you can get like an old Audi GT or something like that, but they're all gone. So pretty much the entire nation of Germany goes away except for Volkswagen.
It's good for maintenance.
Kind of every British car ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the good American stuff goes away.
Keep your Saabs.
Half of Japan goes away. The good half, you know, because you've got all-wheel drive stuff or rear-wheel drive stuff goes away. That's your 3000 GTs, your Supras, your RX-7s,
But you'll never
your NSX, your
you'll
S2000. That all gets gone.
You'll never row your own gears ever again.
I think I have to not row my own gears ever again, which sucks. But I think that's what I'm doing. Is I think I need to keep more options open by eliminating the restriction of front wheel drive only. So that's what I'm doing. I'm driving only autos. I'm no longer shifting my own. I'm giving it up.
Wow.
Now I'm open to like have some catastrophic left leg or knee injury, and I'll be cool too. Like it would things supposed to take over. Yeah, I'll donate my left patella or something. What's your thought on that?
Dude, I'd go front wheel drive.
Just
because there's so many options out there. Like I deal with a lot of turd boxes, so I get my turd boxes alive.
Yeah.
Like my Escort GTs.
It's like a Miata right here.
That would be sad, but you know what I'd get?
Into a Lotus Elan?
No, I would get a Capri.
M100 Elan?
I get a Capri XR2.
Capri XR2. A lot of great front wheel drive.
Civic Type R.
But
Elantra. No, but
if you want to live
there's
your
some good
convertible
front wheel
life.
drives though. The Elantra.
Sure, Veloster N.
Veloster N.
There are some good stuff, but boy, you lose a lot of.
You do, but I still get to shift, my friend.
That's fine.
The Civic hatches.
I don't know. It's a truly
CRX.
It's nearly a coin flip. I'm like 55.
I just don't think I could do automatic for the rest of my life. There's a lot of good front wheel drive vehicles out there.
There are.
My Neon ACR, I get to keep that.
You get to keep that.
Yeah. The NX2000, get to keep that. Sentra SCRs.
What if you just keep this thing in 4 high and remove the drive shaft?
Good.
You've got your lane
disconnect at the center.
Yeah,
the transfer.
You
kits.
might anchor it, but you know.
Throwing my own is a big deal. I think I'd miss that too much.
I would miss it too, and I have missed it when I was, you know, I went for a chunk of time with company cars and this and that, and I was rarely driving a manual.
I lose my.
And you get back and you're like, oh, I miss this. This is good.
My CT200H1 came in an auto, but I'd buy a first gen Insight with a manual.
Would I be allowed to automatic swap things that never came?
Negative. No.
So I can't put like a 3-speed turbo 350 transmission in an S2000 and just turn it into a complete disaster.
That's it. S2000s are gone.
Yep.
Ooh. The NSX basically is gone because the automatic.
You can have an automatic. And the new one, you get the new NSX.
We're not going to
It's the other way around.
Is that on the table?
Yeah, I would get the NSX. The other way, I would get no NSX. But it's not front wheel drive.
Yeah, no, I just
NSX is gone.
Missing out on the manual transmission experience, dude.
Well, no matter the option, I would lose the S2000.
It's true.
Drive and manual
That
only.
is true.
So that's all.
We're all losing S2000s.
Yeah.
Big sacrifice.
Can we play? Can we continue the what would you give up forever game?
Yeah. Okay.
Coupes or sedan? Which one would you rather have forever? And this is
tough.
This is with your life, right? Like you have a child, you have to go run errands, and sedans or coupes.
That's like you said, your current life trajectory or future life trajectory.
I should pin it down on this. Well, I guess there's 2 different questions. Is what would you rather drive for forever, or what would you eliminate forever?
Same question, different angles. Yeah.
Well, no, because if you are driving sedans forever, then you're eliminating coupes.
Well, yeah, by default.
Wagons. Versus having all those options, but you just never get to drive the sedans or coupes. So I think I'm going to rephrase it. Which would you rather live with forever? You can only drive coupes, or you can only drive sedans.
That's a tough one, man. I gotta go with sedans.
You keep sedans?
In general, I like how sedans look. I think they have just a better proportioning. I think a lot of coupes, I don't feel it. Like examples, the E90 335i looks better as a sedan.
I agree.
The E36 M3 I think looks better as a sedan.
It is funny. I've had this little debate in my brain because there's some like E30s I prefer as a sedan than a coupe.
100% also.
E36.
I like the sedan. I think the M3 sedan.
That one's a coin flip. I really like the sedans, but then I'll see a really clean coupe That's like factory. It's got like the M Sport wheels, like the original old school like Starfish looking M Sport wheels. I'm like, damn, that looks good.
How about the E90 335?
E90 series, E90 series.
Even the M3
much better
in sedan.
E46, so I think the coupes look far better. In E46.
We didn't get the performance sedan.
I think you're onto something because I think that would be the good name of a like an adult themed car website. It's called Only Sedans.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know, I haven't done market research to figure out how well that's going to fly. But you know, that's out there. But I think, yeah, I would do sedans too. 2.5 RS Impreza, sedan or coupe?
Sedan.
Sedan.
Yeah,
all the tough one too. I do think the proportions are a little better in a sedan.
I think there's more, but honestly, I think
that GC8 generation.
Aren't there more sedans in general than just coupe onlys? I think there are.
Over the history of time, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there was some interesting sport coupe stuff in the 80s and 90s that, you know, aren't, you know, but yeah, especially now, but they're all kind of going away. That everything's moving crossover.
Yeah, which is a lifted sedan.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah, or like hot hatch, like a bloated hot hatch, basically.
Oh, that's a gross
like
hot
a Macan.
take, yeah, it's true.
Like a Macan is basically just like
lifted hot hatch,
extreme bloat Golf R.
It's true though.
So yeah, I think I would do the same. I think
sedan.
I think I would go to sedan land. I would start my start your Only Sedans account today at onlysedans.com.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna look that up while we're talking. Let's see if onlysedans.com is a thing.
How about? But what do you give up if you got rid of sedans? You'd lose out on every M5.
If you gave up sedans, you would lose up.
The Taurus SHO.
Every M5.
There's so many iconic sedans though, like even not even fast sedans, just cars in general. Yeah. So many solid sedans.
You would lose. You would lose
the STI WRXs.
Exactly.
The ones we got here, the Evo. Any of the rally cars. Fiesta Focus STs.
Yeah, and I think we kind of briefly talked about this
in
recent history. Is that, you know, for our generation, a sedan is not nearly the coolness. Onlysedans.com is not available. So perhaps we can do that one day. But I can buy the URL to onlysedans.com. For like our parents' generation, a sedan was decidedly uncool.
Well, they also liked
we have sure, but wagons were also kind of not cool. Like if you're a car guy in 1967, you're getting a coupe or a convertible. That's your only option if you're a cool guy. No one ever gets like a 4-door Chevelle and it's like, oh, that's my cool Chevelle. Absolutely not. Those were untouchable and just straight resale poison forever.
But those people had a wagon as their family hauler. Because it was
as a family hauler
before SUVs, right?
As a family hauler, yeah. But as for cool car guy car, that wasn't.
That's why super sedans, but for us, sedans came out, right?
And we grew up with that. And so for us, there's lots of very cool car guy sedans, right?
Of course.
And M5 didn't exist in the 60s.
No.
I mean, you had kind of nothing. Like you can strangely option out
some
a mid-size sedan, like a satellite, Plymouth Satellite or something like that.
With a hot engine.
With a big block in it or something like that. But it still wasn't like
the oddity.
It would be an oddity. It would not be a cool guy. Take your girlfriend to the prom in car. Like
started in the 80s probably when we saw sedans.
Yeah, pretty much.
The shit. Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, really E30, right? Like the E30 sedan.
God, it looks
is kind of like the quintessential. I mean, that's kind of the thing. Is like the 3 Series was the quintessential sporting sedan.
Yeah. The Taurus
earlier Jaguars, I guess. You know, the XJs, but that was kind of a pseudo exotic.
Taurus saved Ford with a awesome sedan.
Yeah. So.
That's a tough one, but yeah, I'm going team sedan on that one, man. And the functionality too. Sure. Not having to, like, if you have kids, not having to crack that front seat every time and throw a kid in by his collar and his pant loop.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe upside down. Who knows?
Yeah. Or in the trunk.
Exactly. What else you got for me in this rousing game of automotive would you rather?
This topic is called realist or dreamer. So this is a fun one. All right. Would you rather own/drive a hypercar, electronically governed at a top speed of 55 miles per hour?
Ooh, okay.
Or
that's far slow.
Would you rather drive a fully functional base model Toyota Camry?
Ooh, like 2022, 2023 Camry?
Sure. Yeah, new model. Just base, nothing exciting.
No
speed limiting.
Do I have to have concerns for maintenance and stuff, or no?
I'm gonna say pass on the maintenance for now.
Okay. If that's the case,
but this is the car you have to commute in and drive. This is your only car.
that's the thing. I'm not even worried about the governor. I'm worried about having a daily live with like a Pagani Huayra or something like that, and like.
I'm pretty sure you can work it out, man. I'm pretty sure you can make it good.
I could do it. However, like that car is good when you're having fun with it, and it's not good. Not nearly as good as the Camry, anyways.
You get to pick.
At going 55
you get to pick
miles
what
an hour.
hypercar you want, buddy.
I don't think there's a comfortable, livable hypercar. What, like a Senna or something? Like a McLaren Speedtail? What's their new one that doesn't even have a
Ferrari
top?
FF had a little space in it. A little shitty
Yeah, I think that's a supercar, not a hypercar.
Okay.
Hypercar is like
Okay, let's do Cypher / Hyper. Yeah,
the
let's do Super / Hyper. In this case,
that changes it a little bit.
A little bit.
Because like I'd be able to do that like a McLaren GT.
Just imagine.
I would do that. I would do McLaren GT because it's leather clad. It's got like the engine covers.
Let's
like
stick
leather.
with the Pagani. You're going down the highway at 55 with the Huayra, and everybody else is doing 80. It's kind of an interesting situation.
If somebody wrecks into me and totals it, can I cash out?
Of course you can.
Oh boy, I think I'm just praying.
55. What's the crash test rating on Huayras? You think they?
Well, they're made to. At 55, 100% survivability. The problem is people recommend 155.
Sure.
That has a 0% chance of survivability.
Your engine survivability.
So if I'm going 55 and some goober's going 90 and just taxing in the rear,
your engine's gone.
Okay, car's totaled, but then I get a check for like 1.2 mil or whatever it's going to be.
We're not trying to die here, but this is more of like, can you live with this, or would it just be too much?
If it was like a straight up Huayra or something like that, I'd almost have to do, unless I get really creative, like okay, I'm gonna be this persona and like try and like monetize being fast car slow guy and like sell T-shirts like. Can't drive 55 with like a Huayra and like
can't drive over 55.
Trying to be like some weird like slow hypercar influencer guy or something. Find a way to monetize that.
Still looks good at car shows.
Exactly. I'm doing it. Give me the hypercar.
Yeah.
I hate it. And I would hate it, but I would love it. It'd be cool. I'd be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. Can I set cruise control to 55?
You can absolutely. But it doesn't matter. You're gonna hit like a imposed fuel cut or whatever, so it's gonna bounce you back to 55. You can do the fastest 0 to 50.
What if this is the way it's that you only have first gear?
I mean, it depends on gearing. These cars have like 8 and 10 speed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But if a lot of those, you can go like 88 in first gear.
Yeah, it won't matter. You're at 55, dude. Bing, bing,
I think I'm doing it. I think I would try and like angle for something more comfy, like the McLaren GT or something like that. Yeah. I think I would do that.
Okay.
Besides, I can get to 55 as fast as I want, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then there we go. I think that
0 to 55 times all day, baby.
Exactly. Okay. What about you? Probably same boat?
I'm gonna say hypercar. It's just a bummer because you're never gonna tap into it. You're gonna get that good stop. You're gonna be a stoplight champion up until 55.
That's true. I mean, never being able to tap into it is kind of my life story. But yeah, I think that's kind of. Wait, hold on. Which one is it? I don't remember. Is it this one? Oh, that was a sad trombone. Although that's also fitting.
Highway. Yeah, this is a tough one for me too because not being able to cane a super or hypercar would probably hurt after a while. But the fact that I am driving versus the base Camry, I can still go to car shows, back roads, canyon runs.
Yeah, just
those
like
super
tight technical roads.
You never go over 45, 50 up in the canyons.
Incredibly tight.
Yeah. Like a Tyga.
However, I don't think I'm a supercar guy. I don't think I'm a guy that like shows up at the cars with coffee in a brand new supercar and gets out like.
You are when you got it
just
for
pretending like I'm dragging my dick behind me. Like that's not like I'm not that guy.
You won't get in trouble for leaving the car, mate.
True.
The cops will be like, "Oh, I'm watching this guy. Oh, he's going quick." Nope, he cut out strangely at 54 miles an hour.
Oh, that was unusual.
Yeah. So the speed limit 65.
I have one that I'm gonna go a little bit different here. Ooh. Would you rather drive only white vehicles until the end of time?
Okay.
And white.
That's it.
I don't care about the interior, exterior. white. No two-tone, no whatever.
Just stark white.
White.
Okay.
Non-metallic, straight up, Ford F-150 fleet white.
Ooh.
Every vehicle.
Okay.
Or wear only white clothing. Oh, wear only white clothing for the rest of your life. Only white clothing or only white people?
White vehicles.
You go in white cars.
Yeah.
Or only white people. You can only associate with white. No. That one is off the table.
We're gonna be editing this one down.
It's like,
No, dude.
no, kill whitey. But
I'll fully Chris Farley.
exactly.
Kill Whitey. Right when the music cuts out. To be honest, like white, I know I catch a lot of crap for this, but I actually like bright colors in my vehicles as much as the next.
Yeah.
Weird colors.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
There's
in
some
vogue.
there's some cars that look really good in white.
It's coming back now. But white, in general, white lasts better because the sun doesn't harass it as much. It's actually easy to keep clean. I found white to be, it doesn't show that much. It depends on the type of white, but you can keep it clean pretty easily and the paint lasts longer. I don't know, I kind of like white, and if the car has a lot of cool design touches, white makes it stand out, right?
I always thought that very nice, expensive cars look good in white. Really cheap, crappy cars look bad in white.
I don't know. This Ford. I take this Mustang GT because you can see all the body cladding and shit in the white, and I love that. Like,
And you could go full Vanilla Ice, triple white,
drop top.
Exactly. Ooh. Yeah, with the white leather.
Yeah.
You could. I mean, that's on the table.
It's pretty hot.
How about this? If it never actually came in white, you can't get it. Like you can't repaint something in white.
That's fine.
I can't think hardly any cars that came in not white.
Quick question: LFA came in white. That's
It
right.
did.
I'll be fine with that.
Yeah. I think I'm there too because wearing all white shoes, white pants,
That's weird.
white shirt.
I'm worried about the white underwear, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, good luck keeping that thing.
I just can't.
Yeah.
I have to swap out every 2 hours.
Exactly. Well, the pro move is you just flip it inside out.
Well, I'm a risky farter. They usually
And
do
then turn it around. Well, I mean that's
risky farter should be a t-shirt. I'm a risky
they usually
farter.
bleed.com. Yeah, no, I just
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
It is using the trees. Stop.
I'm a risky farter.
Yeah, I think I would go white. I think I would go white vehicle.
Yeah. There's some good ones out there. What are some? I like Lexus's. Call me a basic bitch, but I like Lexus's Pro Essence.
Yeah.
I think that's a good look on some of those.
What was the one they did in like the late 2000, early teens, where it was like a glacier white metallic. It was like almost had like a heavy blue tint to it.
Yeah, that was
like
pretty cool.
glacial milk. I don't know what they called it.
There's some cream colors that look kind of neat on cars, like some very subtle, like hint of cream.
Yeah.
That should also be a t-shirt, hint of cream.
Well, don't look under the bed. The
Risky farter with a hint of cream.
Good night.
Yes.
Yeah. At that point, you're not only turning the underwear inside out, you're flipping them backwards. You're laying the thing down, flip it, and then reverse it.
There's a scene from Predator 2.
Wrong.
This falls right in line with everything we talk about. Scene from Predator 2 where, who is it? Bill Paxton says, he's telling this joke to the team, and he's like, my doctor asked me for a scene.
This is Predator 1.
Predator 2. Paxton wasn't in 1. 2 is the one with Gary Busey in the city.
Correct. And Danny Glover.
But Bill Paxton's in that one.
Bill Paxton's. I don't remember. Okay, sorry, carry on.
Yeah. So he's in that, and his doctor goes, I need a urine, stool, and semen sample. And he goes, I'm in a rush, doc. Can I just leave you my underwear?
Yeah, there you go.
That classic line. Yeah.
Bill Paxton, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. for real. Game over.
How about you? You got another one coming?
I got a good one for you, buddy. This is called Funny Either Way.
Oh, boy.
So would you
Let
rather...
me determine that.
This is going to be a good... Oh, related to what we were just talking about. Would you rather...
Well, that's applause. Sorry.
Close enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'd like to thank the Academy. Would you rather have your car's exhaust sound like a wet fart
Oh, that's exhausting.
at every RPM?
Okay.
Or would you rather have your car's radio constantly playing Skrillex, Bangarang?
Ooh. Just the
Can't
one
hear
song, not the entire Skrillex
Just
discography?
that one song over and over again. You can change the volume slightly. It can never go completely away, and you can't stop it.
Sounds like robots fighting and/or having sex. That song.
Yeah, it's both.
Boy,
This is a good one. It's funny either
have
way.
you seen? It is funny. Either way, have you seen where I think it was a guy got like the inner sleeve of a fleshlight, and he zip tied or pipe clamped it onto the end of his exhaust pipe.
Is that where
and it made the same like,
Yeah.
It basically made the sound effects that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Do I get that to accompany it?
No, you just have a.
So you don't get to see like the pink
No,
sock flapping around.
it looks like a regular
Okay.
exhaust, but for some reason it's juicy wet farts. The tone varies as it should appropriately with your RPM.
What is the alternative?
You get the Skrillex. Thing.
Yeah, I think
Radio constantly playing
Do I get to modify the volume at all?
on the radio.
Yes.
Yes, you just can't turn it all the way off.
Okay, so it can be like at like
It'll still be like volume 5. It'll be very noticeable.
okay. Exhaust me, bro.
Fart exhaust.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's because depending on the car, it could be hilarious.
Yo, it's everything.
Your LFA you were just talking about.
Oh my god.
Imagine not that I have one of those, so it doesn't matter.
What's a 9,000 RPM wet fart sound like? That's dangerous.
I don't want to know.
Danger
That's
to danger to underpants.
Yeah, exactly. This cotton manifold. How about you? What are you doing?
Fart exhaust, dude.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
You can always turn your radio up to cover it on the inside.
You can. This is true. I've got one more on my list.
Lay it on me. We could probably close out with that. That'd be fine.
Would you rather lower everything you drive? Everything.
Like
lower.
like slam?
You can drive it, but like you gotta be cautious over speed bumps.
So
You
like
gotta
legit slam.
Yeah, not like laying frame,
Okay.
but like lowered, very much lowered. It can be camber corrected. You don't have to go full like stance nation.
Okay.
But extremely lowered. Like your Land Cruiser behind us, lowered.
Oh god.
Or everything you own lifted, like significantly lifted, like 5+ inches of lift.
Dude.
Lifted.
This is
Pick
tough.
your poison.
So
You want to go to Slam Town?
the answers are going to greatly
or
vary.
Flavor Country or lifted.
Yeah, I love Flavor Country.
That's true.
I'm the mayor there. My butt crack is. So here's the problem. It depends on your personal fleet, right, man? Like
Sure.
if you're a truck guy, whatever.
And this is also things to consider. Everything you will also own
Ever.
from now until the end of time
Jeez,
will then be
dude.
lifted. So consider like your dream cars or what
Sports
you
cars
intend
are
to-
out.
No, they just have to be. They're just lifted.
Technically taking them out because they're not going to be fun on track anymore.
Have you been on a dirt track, my friend?
Well, yes, but they're like I said,
Take an
lifestyle.
NSX on like the Gambler 500.
Can you even lift an NSX? Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I mean you can.
Dude, this is wow.
Lower Jeep Wrangler, lower Tacoma,
How gross with a
They're out there.
Jeep.
They're out there.
I know. Well,
30-inch wagons.
it right, Frank.
Yeah. And you can do whatever for the wheels. I don't care about wheels. You don't have to go like, you know.
Well, I can always
Chrome 22s.
donk the sports cars. That would balance out some of that.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Feel some
the
of that
donk
wheel
lift. Yeah, the donk lift. You can go full donk FDRX7 or something.
Dude, I don't have that many trucks. I have Land Cruiser, so
Yeah.
I would go lower.
You're lower.
For everything.
You're
Because
lower.
I'm more of a sporty turd box guy,
Okay.
so that would look better as long as it's not like super, like you said, drag and frame.
Yeah, not dragon frame, but also like not lowered like 1 inch for performance reasons.
Like you're talking pretty low.
Yeah,
I go lower.
Like you can drive it. You're not laying frame. Like you got to do like the 1 mile an hour, one wheel at a time over the speed bump at the car show thing.
All I can think of is laying pipe whenever you say that. By the way.
Oh, well, say, you know,
Maybe because I'm looking into your eyes.
exactly. What's new?
Brown
eye?
What's up, Buttercup?
What did I do?
No, I would sell my Land Cruiser before I had to mutilate it to do that.
'Kay.
But I would, lower. Lower.
You go lower.
everything. How about you, man?
I'm raising it.
I knew you were gonna be Lift Nation.
I'm going Lift Nation.
This guy Jack
Just
over
like
here.
I mentioned, this guy Jax.
This guy Jax.
Excuse me. Skyjacker over here. So,
Jack's off.
so that's the thing. It's like
Oh man.
how
Dude,
cool. How
sports-
cool is like 5-inch lifted Safari anything?
They're cool, but like if you're gonna do any like spirited driving,
And you
it's
just snap your
suck.
fingers. Or when, even if you go buy a car, the moment they hand you the keys, it goes like, very does comes down and it lifts or lowers to, depending on, and just, yeah, like, I'm at just,
Damn, man. But you give up sporty driving. You really do, like canyon car.
unless you're on
track
dirt,
days.
just go on dirt.
That's-
Become a rally god.
Dirt.
Rally
Even
price.
rally cars aren't lifted.
A little bit.
No, they're pretty low. They're pretty low.
I don't know. I'm thinking, imagine something like a 3000 GT Spider
Oh God,
It's
dude.
like just yacked.
Just buy the Moreno convertible or
The
whatever.
cross cabriolet. Yeah, but yeah, how cool would that actually be lifted though?
Much cooler.
That would be dope.
You can only go one
35
direction.
35s on it. So yeah, I'm a wise man once said, if it ain't a Chevy, don't raise it up. I think that's bunk. I think you can raise everything.
Yeah.
Lift it.
Wow, dude.
Do you even lift, bro?
Yeah, clearly. Wow, man, that's tough.
You know what also is usually tough? Our print ad quiz game that we like to play from time to time.
It can be. I think I've got something a little delicious for you. Do you want to go over the rules, Frank, while I cue up my
Yeah.
turn my computer
You
far
get
away from
your
beautiful gazing eyes.
Oh boy, you get your ish in order, and I will review the rules of our little quiz game that we like to play here on the Another Pointless Automotive Podcast. So, Chadwick here is going to find a piece of automotive print copy poached from a magazine or any sort of print publication from the 80s, 90s, or early 2000s, and he's going to read it to me, omitting any of the identifying details that might give away the make and model of said vehicle. I will then have 3 attempts to try and guess what this will be. Make and model, and if I'm feeling really salty, perhaps the model year. And that's kind of it. I can ask for hints between guesses, should I get them wrong, but I won't. With that said, Chadwick, will you read this print ad copy, and I will attempt to guess what it is. And feel free to play at home. Take some notes if you wish. I'm just going to raw dog it. I'm going no notes. I might consult the 8-ball that we have here.
Fair enough.
Might even do an 8-ball, but Chadwick.
8-ball is in play.
That's it.
Ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, and if you're playing at home, shake your fist in frustration when we struggle with a car you identify off the first line.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so here we go, man. So upper third is where the vehicle's located. There's some other cross-sectional images of the vehicle.
Good phraseology then.
Yep.
Yes.
So here we go. I don't want to give it too much away. It's in a beautiful, like almost like a candy apple red. But this is a low quality ad, so my eyes might betray me. Anyway, introducing blank, a transportation revolution.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so
Transportation revolution. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's kind of like a car.
Pontiac Transport.
Must be,
Yeah.
Game over. Let's retire. Okay, so this is a truly revolutionary vehicle, my friend.
Okay.
It can handle 2 adults. Mic drop, plus 125 cubic feet of cargo. That's kind of a big deal. Or 5 adults.
Okay.
Even 7 with the available rear seat. So now we're getting down there.
Okay.
Yet, it's still shorter than a full-size station wagon. So it's easier to maneuver and park.
Okay.
And since blank, okay, I'm gonna leave this out, this gets going. Okay, well, let's cut to the tech specs.
Okay.
Blank's 2.2 liter engine rates estimated highway of 37
Oh boy.
mpg.
Okay.
Highway,
Yeah.
37,
Okay.
which is impressive mileage for a vehicle of this sort.
Okay.
Here's some more tech specs. Front wheel drive,
Yeah.
able to handle slippery surfaces outside. And give
I
you
would
more,
hope so.
and give you more.
Undrivable when wet.
This thing's a death box.
You will
and,
die.
and more room inside. Yet for all this, blank is remarkably low priced. Oh, and I can't tell you the rest of that. The totally new blank, you've got to see it, sit in it, and drive it to believe it. All of which can happen at your blank dealership.
Any hint on a warranty? Are we doing 3 or 30?
I don't want to do warranty because I think we're getting a little good about that. So you have
the game within the game.
Yeah, you have the above information, my friend. We are talking like lots of cubic inches in there, decent highway MPGs, and 2.2 liter.
Okay. So
And front wheel drive. Jeez,
Front wheel
good
drive.
stuff, buddy.
I think I know what it is.
Okay.
A truly revolutionary vehicle. Some would argue really the true first minivan.
Mm-hmm.
So this would have been circa 1984. What I don't know is there were a couple of different versions, but I think probably original, especially if it's going to be in this color scheme, right? With bright screaming red. I'm going to go, and a 2.2, so Chrysler made a 2.2 liter. It would have been front wheel drive.
Yep.
It would have been the early, Dodge Caravan, Chrysler Town & Country, Plymouth Voyager trio. I'm going to say this is a 1984 Dodge Caravan. Final answer, Bob.
All right, let me lock you in for that guess. We are Dodge, an American Revolution. Introducing Dodge Caravan, a transportation revolution.
There we go.
I had to do it. We talked about minivans on the episode with For Whom the Bell Tolls, so I really wanted to pay homage. Check this ad out, my friend.
I want to see. When I picture this minivan, yeah, okay.
What an awesome ad. So I'll put it up on the screen for you following at home.
What an Aryan ad.
Yeah, I mean, these kids have like Oompa Loompa yellow hair. And
it's very
it's Swedish.
It's 1984, 1985.
Yeah.
And so what was the part that you left out?
I left out
since
the
Caravan
5'5"
stands at 5'5". That's just a fun.
But the cross-sectional photos are really cool. They show the vehicle dissected in different ways, so you can see the occupants for some reason.
It's funny that the third row was a straight up option.
It was an option, yeah.
It wasn't even just standard.
Nope, which is weird for a minivan, you'd think, but I picked this ad because we did talk about the Caravan dying. The Dodge Caravan last year was its last model, 2021.
Yeah, so that was it, which is
running
really the
from,
end of an era.
Running from 84 all the way on with obviously refreshes along the way, but one of the most iconic and probably original forebearers of the minivan revolution. Like they said here, they didn't know in 84 this was going to take off. Let's celebrate your win. Let's get out of minivan land and do a little.
Would you rather talk minivans or do PCP?
Which is Project Car Progress. I'll kick us off this week, my man.
Yeah,
just spit it out in a few minutes here. So, got the Mustang GT, it's off camera here, it's my buddy's 89, which has a lot of modifications, a lot of premium modifications, and he's had the car for a decade plus. The issue is it fell into the hands of some different mechanics over time who favored the approach of, I'm going to throw parts at it versus suss out what's really going on. So, my job has been to sift through all I have is a book of receipts and figure out what's modded on the car without
Any tech notes in any of those?
Barely.
Like customer brought in with this complaint, we did this, it fixed it or it didn't fix it.
Well, you got to remember, you're going through, sometimes you see the quotes, but you don't see the actual receipts, so did that work actually get done?
Yeah.
So, and on top of that, this vehicle is, like I said, pretty old, so there's a lot of receipts that are outdated. Who knows if it's been swapped since. Yep. So, here's what I'm doing, is putting together the history of the car, what's actually in it, without taking out the cam, without pulling the heads to verify. So
blueprinting.
So far what I've got, is that it probably had a Cobra setup before, because the intake manifold, throttle body or Cobra, it had GT40 heads, almost 98% sure, but they swapped them out with 5.0 reman heads at one point. So that changes
things. Who reman them?
It was a reputable shop.
Okay.
No, it was a reputable shop. So my buddy put those in, but what he didn't know is that he was taking out GT40 heads, which are pretty valuable. So I don't know why that was asked.
And those just got core returned?
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Big money down the pipes, right?
Yep.
So that's an issue. Injectors or GT 17-pound injectors. I know this is very Fox Body specific, but basically what I'm saying is there's a mismatch between Cobra parts if you're doing a full Cobra swap and a regular GT, which is kind of if you're going to need some tuning to balance that out. The car's running incredibly rich. I mean, smoking spark plugs, blackening them instantly and just pouring smoke out. So
what's his end game with it? Is he just drivability?
Right now is to get drivability, and then possibly let's upgrade it to make it a full Cobra, like fuel pump, bigger injectors.
Does he have the wallet to just say, hey, you know what? Instead of wasting our time and chase our tail, that's what I want to do anyways. Why don't we just do that?
So that's coming up in my options. The only thing is when you do that, you start to run into smog issues, you run into all those kind of things because you're going to have to tune the ECU. So here's my biggest problem, is this thing probably had a Cobra ECU or tuned 5.0 and the caps did leak and it was replaced with an AutoZone.
Get in the zone.
Yeah, well, who makes the cheapest reman ECUs? You don't want to buy a $110 ECU at AutoZone for your modified Mustang.
Cardone,
Yeah, dude. So that's probably having an issue. It's probably seeing a mismatch in fuel and air. So it's dumping a ton of fuel, which I almost guaranteed. So I got two routes. We're cleaning the injectors either way. I'm going to find out if there's any affordable tuning options and try to get the car running as well. I put that as boring option.
Boring.
Fun option. I fully upgraded to Cobra mods, like fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator, tune. and have more fun.
With the same heads.
I would get the Cobra head, GT40 head's got to go on or something comparable.
Yeah.
That's the most expensive part. I've got to upgrade the, what's it called, the mass airflow sensor to do the 24-pound injectors that come with the Cobra. There's a couple other mods I got to do, right? But it's not bad.
What about option piss off the world and LS swap?
No. But this thing's too great, so it does have a cam.
Well,
Where's the evil laughter? Do you have that button?
I think it's regular laughter.
Oh, so it does have
That's medicine.
It does have a cam. It does have an exhaust. It has awesome supporting mods. I mean, everything's done right, dude. But yeah, those are my two options. It's been mostly like research right now, diving through forums. Because I'm not a specialist on these cars, but there's like I said, when you're tracking behind at least 4 different mechanics and everybody doing random stuff. Well, that's my 5 minutes of fame. I'll pass the mic to you, man. What are you doing for your flavor of PCP?
Oh boy, so I've stolen my mom's car.
Dude, where's your mom's car?
Exactly.
At your house.
Exactly. It is. Well, actually, currently it's not at my house.
Oh.
So I have an insanely busy handful of weeks, this being one of them. So in lieu of going through and doing all that, there is a very, very well-regarded shop within an easy walking distance of my house.
Nice.
And they specialize in Hondas and Toyotas. And so I took it there. I said, I brought it in and I said, hey, look, this car is seen. First off, what I did was I called the dealership where it was last seen for service, right? Walnut Creek Honda, where the vehicle was purchased. When my mom bought it new in late 2005. It's 06 S2000. And so I called them and they said, hey, let me give you the VIN number and just let me know what the last services were on it. So I have at least a baseline on what's going on with it.
Right.
I said, okay, well, it was here in January of 21 for a battery. I was like, yep, I did that. The battery was dead. They're like, okay. I was like, what was the service before that? Like, well, it was here in 2018.
Okay, a little while
for a recall and the battery. So okay, do you have anything else in there at all? Like, we don't have anything else in there because anything older than 7 years, we wipe it out of our system.
Dude.
So it's had 2 batteries in 7 years. That's it.
Can you look back on the Carfax and see what it went in for?
It
won't be
I suppose
detailed.
it might be able to.
Yeah, get some information.
But at that point, I'm like, it hasn't even had an oil change in 7 years.
Oof.
That ain't good.
No.
So, I took it to the shop. I said, hey, like, here's the thing. I was like, it feels tight, but I know it's just been lots of deferred maintenance just based on years and sitting.
Yeah.
So go through it. This is what's going on. Mom's out of town. Car sits. I need to get it taken care of. It's gonna at least probably need all the fluids.
Yeah.
Filters.
Yeah.
So I don't have time to deal with it. Look it over. Give me your opinion. Go. Okay. So then I get the call next day. Hey, we went through it. Got to do all the fluids. Everything suspension-wise, all that stuff looks really good.
Yeah.
All that stuff's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Low mileage car.
Yeah, it's not quite 69,000 miles. 68,900, whatever. Don't say anything.
Something like that too.
Other things they found were water pumps leaking.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Fairly significantly.
Over time, yeah.
You know, water pumps kind of, okay, cool. They're going to put an OEM water pump in it. Way okay with that. He said, and he's like spark plugs. We pulled plugs. They're actually leaking by between the
gasket.
The actual like they're leaking below by past the actual like down the plug, like between the metal and ceramic element of the plug.
Oh.
He's like I'm actually stunned it's not throwing out like a misfire code. He's like, so 4 plugs. He's like, technically by schedule they're every 105,000 miles, but you know, I was like, well, you already pulled the plug, just put the plugs in. Like,
sure,
yeah, I'll pay you to pipe.
Yeah.
And GK or Iridiums or whatever.
Sure.
So, and he's like, oh yeah, that's pretty much it. So plugs, water pump, all the fluids stuff. It's gonna run me like whatever $1,500 or something.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's what that stuff does at a shop, but I'm okay with it because the car's worth it. It's normally I would just do my own stuff. They don't want to put, because I did buy a new timing chain tensioner. It's an aftermarket one. They don't want to do it. I don't want to do an aftermarket, which I get. And I even told them, I was like, hey, I totally get if you don't want to do this, but I have it. It's sitting here. It's this upgraded heavy-duty timing chain tensioner. It's like, I'd love to do it, but if something goes wrong with it, I have to buy an engine.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So that's fine. That's fair. I get that. So I'll do that. It's like an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
You pull the airbox, pull the old part, put it in. It's got a little grenade pin type thing, pull the pin.
Yeah, if you need someone that does high-risk jobs like timing belts all the time.
That's your deal.
Let me know.
That's your
I'm in there to ruin engines, potentially.
So that's it. So that's hopefully going to be finished up later today.
Sweet.
Then I'm going to usher it off for a detail, paint correction, and tires. I'll probably do tires first.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to do full like PS4S's or anything.
But something sporty on there. It's
Yeah.
a sports car.
It needs decent rubber. They make like the all-season version of that tire, which I don't know.
Put a summer tire on the thing.
Yeah. So I'll get that figured out. But I'm hoping they get back early next week. I'm hoping to have it all sorted out. Be like, hey, look, go drive your damn car.
Yeah, we'll have to go.
And if you don't, I'm gonna drive it.
Yeah, we should go for a drive.
That's there's a little selfish element of this. It's like the car needs to get driven, so this doesn't continue to have it rot into the ground because it's just too good of a car. One owner car, not leaving the family.
It'd be cool to immortalize it in a review. Look what a stock low mileage AP2 can do.
There you go. So we should do that. And that's the drugs I've chosen to do today.
Awesome. So let's wrap this one up, guys. First off, thanks for stopping by. You can find me on the internets at Auto Obsessive Garage on YouTube, Instagram. Frank, where can our beloved fans find you?
You can find me in the club. You can also find me at the Photographer's Garage on the Gram and on the YouTubes. And that's kind of it. So, and then we are at APA Podcast.
Oh yeah, that one.
On Instagram. Check us out. We don't do anything ever. But you should jump in and leave rude, obnoxious comments or at least some terrible suggestions. Because we're open to that kind of
thing.
We
like the incendiary stuff.
Yes.
Check us out on YouTube also. You can watch the visual component of this podcast, and we'll put some content in there for you. So thanks again for stopping by, guys. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.